Hey guys, my name is Nika and welcome back to the Простые English podcast. Originally, this project was created for English learners because I wanted to help you improve your listening skills. But now, when I get your messages on social media and read your feedback about the podcast, you say that it helps you with more than just English. Yeah, you learn a lot of interesting words and phrases, and you've also started to enjoy listening to something in English. That's great. But in addition to that, you always write that these short audios make your day, make you smile, and boost your mood. And you also mentioned that I'm with you in your earphones when you go for a walk or travel home from work. And some episodes have even motivated you to change something in your life, like trying new habits or looking at situations from a different perspective. That's incredible because I didn't expect that. I didn't plan for this when I decided to record the first episode, but I'm really happy to hear that you find this podcast useful and relevant, not only for your English skills, but also for your personal life. So, thank you so much one more time, guys, for supporting this project. You are the greatest community I could ever dream of. And if you want to stay connected more often, I invite you to follow me on Instagram and Telegram because there I share more about my life and post tips on learning English. You can find the links in the description of this episode, but now let's get started. Based on the title, you already know that we are going to discuss some ways to relax after a tough, long, and difficult day. And as always, this idea came to me from my own experience. Recently, I've been working a lot. Yes, I love what I do. I adore the students who join our courses, and I love my team. But working with people still requires and still consumes a lot of energy. And sometimes in the evenings, I feel like I don't want to talk to my husband anymore, or I have no energy left to even get up from the couch. And one day I realized that actually there are many people like me, those who have an endless amount of tasks during the day and those who are completely exhausted in the evening. So, this episode, guys, will be useful both for me and for you because today we will come up with a list of ways to relax in the evening so you can feel better and more energetic. Yep, let's dive into it. Point number one on my list is digital detox. I don't know how it's for you guys, but I've noticed that after a tiring workday, I can just get on social media and start doom scrolling. Just like, scrolling through my Instagram feed, for example, without any real purpose. And it feels like I'm relaxing and switching my thoughts from work to something else. But in reality, I end up wasting an hour or even more without even realizing how quickly time flies. And in the end, I feel even more tired. And on top of that, I start blaming myself for wasting time and not doing anything useful. So, my personal recommendation to you guys and to myself too is the following. If you want to recharge after a difficult day, take your phone to another room, turn off notifications, turn off Wi Fi, and disconnect from the world, at least for 2 or 3 hours. Point number two is to take a shower or a bath. For many years of my life, I didn't have a bath. First of all, when I entered university in Lithuania, I lived in a dormitory and we didn't have a bath. When I moved to Belgium for half a year and then to Denmark to study, I rented a room in an apartment which I shared with other people. And there was a bath. but I didn't want to use it because it was shared by many people. And when Paul and I moved to China for a year, there was also only a shower. And then here in Poland, we had been renting an apartment for 3.5 years before we bought our own, and there was also only a shower. In Poland, it's in general quite common to have only showers in apartments. I'm not sure why, maybe because apartments are often quite small and there is not enough space for a bath. I really have no idea. But long story short, I lived without a bath for more than 11 years. And at some point, I just got used to taking showers and I didn't even miss having a bath. So, for example, after a long and difficult day, I can go to the shower and wash off all my feelings and emotions that I've been carrying around all day. And I usually do not turn on the main light. Instead, I switch on the mirror light and stand underwater for about 5 or 10 minutes. And in this calming atmosphere, both my body and my mind can refresh. By the way, I have a really funny story about that. So, when we were choosing our apartment, the apartment that we wanted to buy, we found an apartment with two bathrooms. And at first, we didn't understand why we need to have two bathrooms in such a small apartment. But then we thought that we could just have, for example, one bathroom and use the second one for storage. But after some time, we realized that we usually have guests who come to visit us, like our parents, our siblings, our friends, and so on. And in this case, having two bathrooms would be really convenient. And now, in one bathroom, we have a bath, and in the other bathroom, we have a shower. And it's unbelievable because I can choose where to rest. Of course, in most cases, I choose the shower because it's faster and it's more convenient. But if, for example, I'm exhausted or I have no energy, I can take a bath. I can't say that I use this option frequently, maybe once every 1 or 2 months. But anyway, when you have a bath and you can take it anytime, it's really pleasant. And when I want to relax in the bath, I again leave my phone in another room and I take either an iPad if I want to watch a movie or a book. And this way, I have no access to my phone and I can't enter social media. And when I take a bath, I like to use different relaxing things. For example, bath salts. I don't know whether they have any real effect, but I love the smell. And I can also apply a mask to my face or my hair, scrub my body, and after the bath, I usually apply body cream or body oil. And yeah, usually after such evenings, I feel full of energy and I'm in a great mood. Point number 3 is to do some light exercise. You might say, Nika, again, you're talking about exercising. But yeah, I really believe that it's one of the best ways to recharge. I've experienced this feeling millions of times when I have no energy at all, but somehow I find the power to force myself to do some exercise. And then I feel so happy and so grateful to myself for making that decision. Of course, if we are talking about a tough day, then we may have no energy for an intense workout or calorie burning exercise. In this case, it's better to choose something light, like stretching, yoga, or just a walk. Yeah, if you've been indoors all day, it's always a great idea to go for a walk. You can, for example, invite some family members to join you, or if you live far away from each other, maybe call your best friend while walking in order to catch up, laugh, and get distracted. Or you can simply take your earphones, turn on music or a podcast, and enjoy spending time on your own. It really doesn't matter what you choose. Just go outside to breathe fresh air, look at nature or people, and it will definitely help refresh your mind. Point number 4 is to do a creative activity. I've noticed that when I work all day and my brain gets tired from thinking and analyzing information, I like to do something creative in the evening to help me clear my mind. For example, I can paint a picture by numbers. I'm not good at drawing or painting, but it's a great alternative for people like me. On the one hand, it's simple, but on the other hand, you are satisfied with the result because you end up with a beautiful picture. And later on, this painting can be placed in a visible spot to decorate your space. And when I paint by numbers, I can turn on my favorite series in the background, like Emily in Paris or Sex and the City, and they additionally cheer me up. I know that some people in the evening do things like collecting puzzles, making candles, knitting, or doing crafts. Oh no, it's not for me. I'm not good at those things, those activities. So I prefer to play the guitar or to cook something. I wasn't always a fan of cooking, and I wouldn't say that I absolutely love it now. But if I want to take a break from work, I can make, for example, a cottage cheese pie, some pancakes, or chicken soup. And yeah, those dishes are simple and I can cook them automatically while listening to music or, for example, talking to my grandma on the phone. Point number 5 is to go to sleep earlier. If you have no energy after a hard day, and as a result, you can't do sports, you can't cook anything, you can't even concentrate on a movie, and you can't push yourself to get out of the house for a walk, I would recommend going to sleep earlier. And as we all know, good quality sleep and a long sleep are the best medicine. By the way, I've noticed that when I change the bed linens, I sleep much better and it's just more pleasant to be in bed. So I recommend the same to you. Take a shower, put on fresh bed sheets, get into bed, and try to relax. You can listen to calming music for a while or do a short meditation to help you switch off your thoughts. But if you go to sleep earlier than usual, you will definitely feel much better the next morning. That's it for today, guys. I know that there are thousands of ways to relax after a hard day of work. For example, you could go for a massage or to a spa, take a dance class or a vocal class, play video games, or watch your favorite movie, and etc. But today, I wanted to share the top 5 tips that help me personally. And those tips are the following: digital detox, a shower or a bath, exercise, a creative activity, and a good quality sleep. With this episode, I just wanted to remind you that it's important to take breaks and give yourself time to relax, because this way you will feel much happier and have more energy in your daily life. Take care of yourself, guys, and don't forget to follow this podcast if you haven't done it yet. I'll talk to you soon. Keep in touch. Bye bye.